You've probably been told that creating your dream reality is complicated, that it requires strict rituals, endless visualizations, perfectly crafted affirmations, and non-stop effort to raise your vibration. But what if I told you the truth is almost the opposite? That quantum manifestation is actually disarmingly simple. So simple, in fact, that most people never do it the way it really works. Right now, you're already inside a quantum field, a field that's infinite in potential, a field that responds not to how hard you work, but to how aligned you are. Yet most people treat manifestation like combat. They try to outmuscle their current reality with willpower. They repeat affirmations they don't feel, picture outcomes they don't fully trust, and force themselves to think positive, while their nervous system is still locked in fear, scarcity, and stress. This is why everything breaks down. In the quantum realm, force equals friction. Let's simplify this. Quantum manifestation isn't about getting what you want. It's about collapsing into the version of reality where you already have it. It's not about changing the external world first. It's about embodying the inner signal that draws that world to you. In the quantum field, all timelines exist simultaneously. Success and failure, love and loneliness, abundance and lack. All of it is already there as waves of possibility. But here's the twist. Nothing becomes real until it meets a coherent observer. That observer is you, your focus, your attention, your emotional state. They're the architects of your experience. Most people, though, are observing from fear. They're focusing on absence, broadcasting lack, and trying to summon abundance from the frequency of not having. In quantum language, that's noise, not signal. We're trained to chase what we want. But the real art of manifestation is to become the version of you that no longer chases, because it already knows. I'm entangled with my desired life now. The field is waiting for my clarity. Your job isn't to push harder. It's to become clearer. Why don't most people do this? Because it feels too easy. Because surrender feels like giving up. Because letting go feels unnatural. But here's the paradox no one tells you. The moment you stop needing it so desperately, the field can finally give it to you. Think about the times something arrived without struggle. Maybe you met the right person by accident. Maybe an opportunity appeared out of nowhere. Maybe an idea clicked when you weren't trying. What was the common thread? You weren't gripping. You weren't forcing. You were open. That's quantum manifestation at work. The quantum doesn't respond to your words. It reads your energy. You can say, "I am wealthy" 1,000 times. But if your body is still broadcasting fear, if your heart is tight with scarcity, if your nervous system is addicted to struggle, the field mirrors that chaos back to you. Not because it's cruel, but because it's precise. Here's the radical shift. Quantum manifestation starts when you stop focusing on getting and start focusing on being. You become the signal. You embody the frequency. You let your state lead instead of your effort. But that raises the real question. What does the field actually respond to? Thoughts? Feelings? Beliefs? Actions? And how do you get all of these to send one clear message instead of a mixed signal? This is where most teachings fall apart. They focus only on thinking positive, without addressing trauma in the body. They tell you to visualize, without clearing subconscious sabotage. They tell you to affirm success while your nervous system is still bracing for failure. But the quantum listens to your whole signal, the integrated, embodied broadcast. Alignment isn't a mental trick. It's a full-body, full-system shift. In the next part of this journey, we'll break down how the quantum field really works, why the observer effect matters, what wave collapse actually means, and how your subconscious broadcasts even when you're unaware. You'll see why manifestation works best when you stop trying so hard. Sit with this question before we go on. Where in your life are you trying so hard that you've become the very block you're trying to break? The quantum field doesn't respond to your wish list. It responds to your coherence. Quantum manifestation isn't about thoughts alone, emotions alone, or actions alone. It's about how all three align into a single, steady signal the field can read without distortion. Think of it like a cosmic translator. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, the message is clear, the vibration is steady, and the field responds almost instantly. When you're thinking one thing, feeling another, and doing something else, the message is scrambled. The field mirrors back not clarity, but chaos. This is where the observer effect, a cornerstone of quantum physics, comes in. At the smallest scale, everything exists as possibility. When an observer focuses on one option, the wave collapses into an event, and reality crystallizes. But the observer isn't just your conscious mind. It's also your subconscious. You may consciously want abundance, but if your subconscious is wired for fear or scarcity, the field picks up that hidden broadcast. Your subconscious becomes the true observer, collapsing the wave into a timeline you didn't consciously choose. This is why so many people feel stuck. They align their surface mind while ignoring the deeper programming. In the quantum game, the subconscious always wins. Scientists like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton have shown the heart's electromagnetic field is far stronger than the brain's. When your heart and brain are in coherence, you send out a powerful unified signal. When they're out of sync, the signal weakens. This is why trying to manifest with the mind alone often fails. Without the emotional component, the felt sense of alignment, the field has no clear signal to mirror. You can't just tell the field what you want. You have to become the vibrational match to it. That means tuning your body, breath, nervous system, beliefs, and daily choices into harmony. It's not a one-off ritual. It's a living practice. For example, if you want to manifest love, you can write affirmations, make vision boards, visualize your ideal partner. But if deep down you feel unworthy, if your nervous system braces for rejection, if your heart is armored, the field senses that tension. It mirrors it back as more longing, more searching, more almost but not quite connections. It's not punishment, it's precision. The shift is into coherence, feeling whole now, practicing the emotions of what you desire before it shows up, embodying the state of already having it so the field can collapse that timeline into form. You become the frequency first, the form follows. Here's the simple, profound truth. The more you release control of the outcome and focus on regulating your internal state, the faster the quantum responds. The mind wants formulas, hacks, and steps. But the quantum isn't a machine. It's a mirror. It's a dance partner. It's alive, intelligent, and waiting for your steady, embodied presence. Take a breath right now. Feel your body. Notice where you're holding tension. Notice the background stories. Soften for a moment. Let go of needing to fix or force. This is where your power begins. Before we go on, if this resonates, join this space. In the comments, drop one word: trust, ease, joy, whatever comes first. That word is your signal. The moment you name it, you start aligning with it. Are you ready to explore the part of manifestation no one talks about? The part that feels so simple it's almost cheating? This is why most people stay stuck despite all the books, courses, and videos. Letting go feels unnatural. We've been taught that effort equals worth. So when we meet a system where the key is coherence, alignment, and surrender, it breaks our mental model. We keep forcing outcomes, even though forcing is the very frequency that blocks them. Most people fail because they're caught in the control trap. They visualize abundance, but check their bank account every hour with anxiety. They script love, but obsess over text messages. They affirm health, but scan their body for symptoms. All of that sends mistrust to the field. They're affirming one thing consciously, but broadcasting the opposite subconsciously. The quantum doesn't speak English or Spanish. It speaks energy. Energy never lies. You can say the right words, but if your nervous system is bracing for loss, if your mind loops in doubt, if your body is flooded with stress hormones, the field reads that deeper frequency. This is why people feel exhausted. They're doing all the things, but from scarcity and hypervigilance. They're on the timeline of trying to get, not already having. And here's the subtle piece. Your subconscious runs about 95% of your life. It shapes your habits, beliefs, emotional reactions, and identity. You may consciously want a breakthrough, but if your subconscious is anchored in, "I'm not enough," or "life is a fight," those programs collapse the wave into the same old outcomes. Affirmations without embodiment feel hollow. Visualizations without nervous system regulation collapse. Action without aligned identity leads to burnout. Quantum manifestation isn't an add-on. It's a recalibration of your whole system. It's becoming the version of you who already lives in the desired timeline, before the evidence appears. Want abundance? Feel abundant now. Treat yourself with generosity and presence. Let go of micromanaging outcomes. Focus on embodying trust. Want love? Practice loving yourself now. Open your heart. Live as though you're already enough, because you are. Want health? Stop scanning for what's wrong. Nurture what's right. Shift from survival into resilience. Here's the paradox. When you stop needing it so badly, it arrives faster. Not because life is testing you, but because you've stopped being the resistance. Where in your life are you still gripping the steering wheel? What would happen if you loosened by just 10%? This isn't about passivity. It's about shifting from control to co-creation. This is where manifestation really begins. In the next section, we'll talk about simple, rarely practiced techniques to realign your system, regulate your state, and become the clearest signal possible to the quantum field. How to dissolve resistance without bypassing emotions, build trust with your subconscious, and step into the timeline you desire as though it's already yours. Here's the truth hidden in plain sight. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. The field doesn't respond to your words, vision boards, or Pinterest perfect affirmations. It responds to the vibrational signature you carry into every thought, room, and interaction. That signal is built moment by moment, not in what you're doing, but in how you're being. Think of yourself as a radio. If you want jazz, you don't demand jazz while tuned to heavy metal. You change the dial. Quantum manifestation works the same way. You can't draw in a new timeline while vibrating in the old one. How do you change the dial? By becoming conscious of your current frequency. Not just what you think, but how you feel. How do you breathe under stress? What stories loop in the background? Most people manifest on autopilot, recycling the same states and broadcasts. The field mirrors them back faithfully. The shift begins when you interrupt the pattern, not with brute force, but with simple embodied practices. A conscious breath in anxiety. A hand on your heart in self-doubt, asking, what would the me who already has this do now? And taking one action from that place. The quantum doesn't need perfection. It needs coherence. Coherence happens when your thoughts, emotions, and actions point in the same direction. Even brief moments of coherence create a gravitational pull. Reality bends toward you. Want abundance? Practice generosity. Train your nervous system to feel, I have enough now. Want love? Practice vulnerability. Be the safe space you long for. Want health? Practice presence. Treat your body with respect, not punishment. This is the simple path. Few walk it because it asks you to go first, to become the frequency before evidence arrives. Emotional regulation is the most misunderstood piece. People think manifestation means feeling good all the time. It doesn't. It means feeling real all the time and learning to come back into alignment when you wobble. Welcome your emotions. Don't bypass them. Hold space for fear without letting it drive. Practice emotional fluency so you can ride waves without drowning. You will wobble. You will doubt. That's okay. The power is in how you return. Ask yourself now, what timeline am I tuned to? Fear or trust? Lack or abundance? Waiting or arrival? No judgment, just noticing. Awareness creates choice. Choice opens coherence. In the next block, we'll turn these insights into a living practice. How to navigate setbacks with grace. Sustain the frequency that collapses your dream timeline into reality. Manifestation isn't a performance. It's a practice. It's not something you master once. It's moment-by-moment living. Most people think it's about doing more. In truth, the most powerful manifestors aren't those with the most techniques, but those who can regulate themselves back into alignment when life shakes them. You will be tested. Fear will creep back. Old patterns will whisper. The question is, can you stay in the frequency of trust before the evidence appears? Can you hold it's already done while the world still looks the same? This is where embodiment becomes essential. Each morning before your phone, take a breath and ask, what frequency am I tuning into? Throughout the day, let your body be your compass. Notice tension. Notice contraction. Then recalibrate. Ask, what would the version of me in my desired timeline choose now? And take one small action. At night, replay your day with curiosity, not judgment. Gratitude amplifies coherence. Community matters. We co-regulate. Surround yourself with people practicing coherence. Curate your environment physically and energetically. Fill your field with reminders of your chosen timeline. Remember, there's no finish line. This is a continuous unfolding. You're not just manifesting things, you're becoming someone who lives as a creator, a conscious participant in shaping reality. The quantum isn't separate from you. You're entangled with it. You are the field, the wave, the observer, and the observed. When you tune your frequency, you're not asking life to meet you. You're becoming the life you've been seeking. Drop one word in the comments to capture the energy you're carrying forward. Alignment, ease, power, something uniquely yours. Let it be a quantum seed. If this video stirred something in you, subscribe. This isn't just a channel. It's a living space for those stepping into their creative power. Thank you for walking this journey. You're not just a viewer. You're a participant. Keep tuning, keep aligning, keep playing in the field.